promise is to help you and your family. Mitt Romney, August 30th, 2012. Republican Convention, Tampa, Florida. That's what's out there all over the place today. It's Friday, folks. Let's roll.
And now, from sunny South Florida, it's Open Line Friday.
Oh, yeah. Yip, 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 yip. Yahoo. Open Line Friday, where callers, when we go to the phones, largely determine what we talk about on the program. It's their day. They don't have to talk about things I care about. They're not put on the air according to synergy and topic programmability and compatibility and all that stuff. Nope, it's just whatever happens, happens. Sometimes it's a big bomb. Hadn't happened much, but it has happened. Here's the telephone number, 800-282-2882. The email address, lrushmo@eibnet.com. I never once said that I want anybody at this convention to go out there and say Obama's a bad guy. What I want people to do, and they did it, by the way, and they did it in flying colors. I wanted the country spoken up for and defended. And I want the contrast drawn between people who think this country's guilty of something that was founded unjustly, immorally, that this country needs to be cut down to size, that this country's the problem in the world. That needs to be rejected. And I don't think it's a mistake to tie Obama to those beliefs. That's what he believes. That's why he's doing what he's doing. He can be a fine guy for all I'm talking about. I just don't think he's very bright, and I don't think he's very experienced. But this notion of him being a bad guy, all I ever said was, please don't tell me he's a nice guy. Don't pander. I know you're afraid. I know the Republicans are afraid of this deep emotional connection that some Obama voters have with Obama. And they're worried that they can't break it, and that they only hope they have of breaking it is to agree. He's such a nice, wonderful guy, but he's not. Nice guys don't say the things Obama's. Nice guys don't accuse you of causing another man's wife to die of cancer. Nice guys don't accuse you of throwing grandma over the cliff in a wheelchair. Nice guys don't attack small business. Nice guys do not blame the successful. Nice guys do not say that the rich get rich because they take from the poor. Did Reagan keep talking what a nice guy Jimmy Carter was in 1980? Did Reagan say, "Why, Jimmy Carter? He's a great guy. I love his peanuts, but it's not at all what we played you the clips of Reagan from his acceptance speech in 1980. I don't remember Reagan saying, "Yeah, Carter, he's a great, great guy, good guy, just a bad president." Is Obama out there saying that Romney's a good guy? Just a failed governor? Is that what they're saying? They're saying some pretty insulting things about Romney. Anyway, let's see. Oh, folks, next week, Democrat convention. Bill Clinton apparently now is going to be the huge star. There are a bunch of big Democrats that are not showing up. Pelosi apparently isn't going. Dingy Harry, nobody knows for certain if Dingy Harry is going to go. Hillary Clinton is not going to. Hillary Clinton's going to be on the other side of the world. Hillary Clinton's going to be in New Zealand or Australia during the Democrat convention. She doesn't want to be anywhere near there. She probably worried what'll happen. If Bill hits on Sandra Fluck. I mean, that could be embarrassing. Well, let me tell you what's going to happen next week. In part, they're going to have a real tough time demonizing Paul Ryan. Not that they won't try, but they're going to have a very tough time. And after the stories that were told all week long about Romney and his character and his charity and his selflessness, demonizing Romney is going to be a tough thing to do. So I want to warn you, don't be surprised if they zero in on me among other people that they try to demonize. I think that's a given. And it may well be those of you, Rush Babes on our Facebook page, Our Twitter, stand by because you may be activated next week. We may send out the secret decoder ring signal to put you into action. And the only reason I say this is this next soundbite. This is last night on CNN, the Situation Room. And they had the former Green Jobs czar on Van Jones. They were talking about Romney's faith. They're talking about Mitt Romney's faith. And speaker after speaker after speaker came up at the convention last night to testify to Romney's faith and his character. So they bring Van Jones on. Here's what Van Jones said.
Rush Limbaugh is a person of faith. I don't think he thinks anybody's more powerful than him, and I don't think he's a compassionate person.
What have I got to do with any of this? I'm not even there. I wasn't at the convention. And yet they got to throw me in because they can't demonize our guys. They can't demonize Romney. I mean, well, they can, and they've tried to. But after this week, it's going to be harder. They have no compunction about lying, but it's going to be really tough to portray Romney as this insulated, selfish, rich guy who wants to go out and cause everybody else to suffer when his whole life has practically been devoted to people who are underprivileged, disadvantaged, and helping them out. And the same thing with Paul Ryan. So on the blue, I come up. Well, look at Rush Limbaugh's a person of faith. I don't think he thinks anybody more powerful than he is, and I don't think he's a compassionate person. This is why I don't need to go to the conventions. I get mentioned even when I'm not there. Doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. I don't care what he thinks. My point is, Van Jones is an Obamaite. This is a heads up of what this convention is going to be like next week. That's all I'm playing it for. That's all it is. I don't care what he thinks. He doesn't even know me. He doesn't know how stupid he is. He doesn't think I'm a compassionate person. I mean, it's absurd. It doesn't even and think I'm more powerful than I don't even think of having power. I never once contemplate power. It's not part of my makeup, lexicon, being. But anyway, they have these caricatures created, and they have these brands of people like me, and this is how they're going to attempt to rile up their base with stuff like this next week. So I'm just warning you people. Let's move on to Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood and the empty chair. Improv. This I loved. I thought this was the essence, as I say, the essence of simplicity. I thought Eastwood was funny. I thought he was... Brevity is the soul of wit. And Eastwood demonstrated that last night. Let's go to the audio soundbite. Here in making fun of Oprah on national TV. Who does that? Well, outside of us, of course, but nobody does that, but we all do.
I was watching that night when he was having that thing, and they were talking about hope and change, and they were talking about yes, we can. And it was dark, and it was outdoors, and it was nice, and people were lighting candles, and they were saying, I just thought, this is great. I mean, everybody's crying. Oprah was crying, and I was even crying. And then finally, I haven't cried that hard since I found out that there's 23 million unemployed people in this country. Now, that is something to cry for, because that is a disgrace, a national disgrace, and we haven't done enough, obviously. This administration hasn't done enough to cure that.
Now, I don't know about you. I love words. Words mean things. Even words that sound like throwaway words. I think when Eastwood said, I was watching that night when he was having that thing, people say, he's senile. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He couldn't even remember what. No. Having that thing is perfect. Yeah, they were having that thing. This is the perfect way to diminish. He was talking about Obama in Grant Park after the election. And all these people, the zombies, and they're lighting candles, and they don't even know why they're there. They just feel good. But you ask them why, and you'd get spaced out Oprah-type answers. And then to throw in Oprah was crying, I mean, I'm sorry, but that hits me right in the heart because I have a theory that Oprah's success is directly related to how much she cries, and I've told you this over and over again. So that one, when I heard it, that just made, you talk about emotional connections. Clint and I were on the same Zen-like astral plane with that one. But yeah, I was watching that night, having that thing. That's the kind of thing I wish I had said. And to most people, it's a throwaway or some senile old guy who can't remember what he's talked about. And he also ripped, appropriately so, the Vice President Joe Biden.
What do you want me to tell Romney? I can't tell him to do that. Can't do that to himself. You're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. You're getting as bad as Biden. Of course, we all know Biden is the intellect of the Democratic Party, so kind of a grin with a body behind it.
I'll tell you, folks, when I saw that empty chair, I at first didn't know what was going on. Again, then I was, because of my hearing, I as I said, I wait for closed caption to catch up, so I was lagging behind everybody till I figured out what was going on. But when they panned the crowd after Eastwood said, I can't tell him to do that. I can't do that to himself. You're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. Getting as bad as Biden. They panned the crowd, and I saw what I know. I mean, we didn't hear anything, but I know what I saw. I saw a bunch of people explaining what he was talking about to other people. I saw a guy laughing, telling a woman who had a look of total confusion on her face what he just said. And vice versa. But there were some people who didn't quite get it. I got it right off the bat, and most people did. But it was funny to see it being translated out there. And then after the camera stuck on some people long enough after they had it translated, you see their mouths fall open. Really? Is that what that means? Where are you going to get this stuff? This is real. Everybody, the critics are talking about such a lack of dignity, so beneath the image that the Republicans wanted to put forward. No, this was real. Everything about this convention this week was real. And Eastwood, he did ramble some. I mean, it was ad lib. There wasn't a prompter up there. Well, there actually, if you look at a still shot or two, you'll see a prompter for the empty chair. Yes, if you will see a prompter for the empty chair. If you look at, if you see a picture, a still shot, even a live shot at the right angle. But he did ramble, but then he eventually got to another point.
We own this country. We own it. And it's not you owning it and not politicians owning it. Politicians are employees of ours. And so they're just going to come around and beg for votes every few years, and it's the same old deal. But I just think that it's important that you realize that you're the best in the world. Whether you're Democrat or whether you're a Republican or whether you're libertarian or whatever, you're the best, and we should not ever forget that. And when somebody does not do the job, we got to let them go.
What could be more sensible? What could be simpler? The fact checkers, by the way, some of the lib fact checkers are actually testing to see if you can do that to yourself, to see if Eastwood was lying. Some of these lib fact checkers are actually trying it. I do too. They're desperately trying to catch Eastwood in a lie. Now, here is another, what a lot of people would consider a throwaway line. He says, politicians are employees of ours. Everybody's laughing and everybody's chuckling and applauding. And then he says, so they're just going to come around and beg for votes every few years. It's the same old deal. Amen. That's exactly how a lot of people look at politicians. They're going to come around and beg for votes. Same old deal. But you're the best. You're the people who make the country work. And when somebody doesn't do a good job, we got to let them go. Just that simple. Okay, let's get the phone calls when we come back. Don't go away, folks.